Dave with Taboo Customs. This is going to be a real quick video on an update where we're at with our Morton building house. I know it's been a long time since we've done an update, and that's because we really wanted to focus on getting our shop all set up, and we had a few things that we ran into with the house and with the buildings that really delayed us on our progress on our house. Alright, so one of the things that delayed us for about a month was once we got the buildings, we found out we had a drainage issue at the front of our first building, which is actually about 200 feet to the north of us here. What we found was that we've got two 6-inch pipes over here. For about 100 feet here, we had a belly in them. So what would happen would these pipes would fill up with water, and then the water would just start backing up in the front of the building. It didn't get in the building, but it would get pretty deep in all the concrete. It was causing the concrete to really sag. So in the end, we spent about a month trying to figure out first what the issue was, and then working on fixing it. What we did is we went in, we put a 12-inch culvert from here all the way to the edge of the building. So now the gutters and everything that drain into the ground actually run down through that culvert. Helped out tremendously. It basically cut out any of the issues that we had before with the drainage. As we got everything removed from the inside of the building, the first area we wanted to focus on was really getting the outside squared away as best as possible, and a lot of that dealt with dealing with a 40-year-old Morton building and water damage. Now you kind of see here how we have the corner opened up. Being it's windy out here and hard to kind of explain that in the wind, we'll go inside and kind of show you what's actually happened and why we had to open this corner up. So as I mentioned, with a 40-plus-year-old Morton building like this, one of the biggest things we're dealing with is the water damage from how the building is kind of constructed and things that have come loose. And we've really found two main issues. Now, whenever Morton building installs their metal sheeting, they will have nails here on the top of these ribs, which, being the top of a ridge for like the roof, usually doesn't cause too many issues. We do have a couple throughout our roof that are leaking that we have to go in and reseal, but for the most part, they don't leak, even at 40+ years old. The issue comes in that whenever they reach the end of a panel, either the top or the bottom on the roof, they'll put a nail in the middle. And a lot of times that nail here is what we found is that's what's leaking. And there's really for two reasons. One, either the nail has come loose and is leaking just because it's loose, or in the case of this corner here, they really missed the board, or they barely hit the board. In a lot of cases, they'll just catch the board and be popped through the side, or in the corner here, there's actually two nails that completely had missed the board. So the water was just pouring in this corner. And I've got a few places like that in this building that we've already fixed. The corners have been the worst. We've had to fix both corners here in this building, but we've also got a couple places down the sides. Now, what has that caused? And I'll show you pretty much the devastation that has caused is that this was the top board up here in the corner, the top 2x6. There's a 2x4 that's at the very top. And what had happened is we actually did not see this until we started looking around a lot closer, trying to make sure we found all the water damage. Because if you look at the bottom of the board, you can see it was solid. This was up against the wall, but then once you looked at the top, you could start to see, and once we started to poke at it, because that's what we did, we went around and on our 2x6s and 2x4s in the wall, basically took a screwdriver and checked where any water damage might be. And I definitely suggest that you do that if you have an old Morton building and you're looking to renovate it or convert it into a house, because you definitely want to get ahead of any of those issues, especially something like this, because it was pretty devastating how much water damage there was in both of these corners. So back on the outside, obviously we've started to install windows, and we're going to talk about those in a second. But again, let me talk about, down here you can see where they've got the nails at the bottom and the tops of each of the panels for the Morton building siding, and they did that on the roof. Now, just to make you aware of what we did to try to deal with that on the roof is we went along the edge of the roof here, and on the edge where these nails are at, we sealed up every nail as you go down through here. And this is a 220 feet long building, so took us quite a bit, but we did get all of those sealed up, and hopefully that'll help keep any water damage from occurring in any of the other nails. So as mentioned, the first thing we did once we kind of got in the building, we feel squared away, is we started to add windows. One, because we wanted light on the inside, because now our lighting is pretty limited. Now for our windows, we did decide to go with a Pella window, a new construction window. We looked at a lot of different windows, trying to decide which way to go, whether we wanted to use the specific metal siding building windows. In the end, though, I looked at it and found out a way we could use the Pella new construction windows, and we'll cover that in more detail in another video, so that you can see, if you're wanting to try to use those windows, you can see how we did install those windows. All right, now for the rest of what we've done so far, is what we really tried to do was square away one wall, and this is our east wall here. And the way we're going to do our walls and our ceiling, what we're going to be able to do is square away one wall, go ahead and drywall this whole wall, and then install our ceiling. We are going to do a sloped ceiling, and like you can see at the top, we've started to add some of the runners across the bottom of the trusses for that ceiling. And what we'll do is we'll do a metal ceiling. We're going to do drywall, then the metal will actually meet the drywall, so the drywall will go up above the metal just a little bit, and that'll enable us to use a J-track at the end, a J-channel at the end of the metal ceiling, so that we'll have a little bit of play and something that we can butt up to the drywall without it looking terrible. Now with the wall, to get it prepped for that, what we did is we started doing our rough-in electrical. We did have to go and hire a licensed electrician, partially because this is considered new construction, not remodeling, because this was a commercial space before, and now it's going to be a residential space. So our electrician has installed our rough-in. We've had that inspected. We've also insulated the walls. We, luckily enough, were able to reuse the insulation that someone had put over the drop ceiling, and we've had enough of it that this wall is approximately 10 inches deep from outside to the inside. And so we've actually used 2 layers of this insulation in here, really I want to make sure that this building is as well insulated as we can get it. So, and we needed to use that insulation for something anyway, and it's a good use of that insulation. Now above this, for the insulation, we're actually going to use blow-in insulation that will cover whenever we get to that point. So the last thing we'll talk about that we've really been working on with the Morton house here is that we've been trying to remove the tile off the floor. Now for this building, we've pretty much got a complete layer of old tile underneath of either carpet or peel and stick tile. So we've been trying to remove that, and what we've been using is actually been using the Hercules tile remover from Harbor Freight, and it's been working pretty well for us. It does take some time, but depending on the type of tile you're using, it has been a good choice, because this is older tile and it breaks up pretty easily. All right, so that'll do it for this video. We really just wanted to give you a quick update where we were at on the Morton building house, because we know we haven't done an update on it in a long time, and that's really because we've been working on a lot of other things. We have now at least made some decent progress on it. We're happy to make the progress we are, and we're really looking forward to as we move forward. And as we move forward, I'll probably have some more videos about some of the technical details of the house, like our gas installation and our furnace installation, and we're going to be doing exposed ductwork for our furnace, and then we've decided we're going to use PEX B for all of our plumbing. So as we get into that, we'll be doing a few more videos to show you how we've done that. All right, thanks for watching, and keep watching our channel if you want to see more updates on our Morton building house here. And as always, please remember to like and subscribe.